Hello, hello. I'm your host, Anthony Taormina, and I'm between Taorminas.
All right, thank you for joining us. Anthony's not the host. I'm the host.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Boys, a lot of breaking news here, NFL-wise. We're going to get to that first. Second, let's talk about college basketball, of course.
Upset, upset, ow!
Upset.
Poor Missouri and Duke.
All right, we'll get to it.
Orange.
All right, and
Why
then
not
we got
Lincoln?
Lake Orion basketball to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, 2012 and 11 season. And question of the day, which you might like. Okay, so first, NFL news. The New Orleans Saints head coach, Sean Payton, suspended 1 year for his team and his participation in what has become, Bountygate?
Mm-hmm. He wasn't the one that organized the bounty program. It was Greg Williams that organized
Greg
it.
Williams is also out indefinitely, at least 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be more.
How are the Rams going to get a new defensive coordinator then?
I don't know. And also, a lot of the Saints coaching staff is being suspended for 6 to 8 games. They're all being fined. So what are they going to do about a coaching
The
staff?
NFL needed to make a statement. The NFL needed to
They
show
did.
New Orleans. They needed to show
They
the NFL,
did.
the league, that it was not going to stand down and let this continue. They
Yeah.
needed to make a statement. Unfortunately, it had to be your favorite team, New Orleans.
Well, second favorite team.
Well, yeah,
We're in,
to take
we're in
a
Lion
hit.
territory.
To take a hit, and unfortunately, it's unfortunate, but it needed to be done. It needed to be done to make a statement. I think that it happened under the head coach's watch.
Yeah.
The defensive coordinator should have been fired. Do I think the head coach should have been suspended for at least a year? Well, it happened under his watch, so I'm going to say yes.
All right. We got a lot to get to with the NFL. Let me just pose this question to kind of cap the bounty gate. Are other teams sweating right now?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. I mean, it's been around in the league for a long time. I mean, I guess the NFL sent a big statement, and I bet you teams are sweating it out right now as we speak.
Yeah.
I think it sends a message. Don't put bounties out on players.
Yeah, definitely.
We're seeing the repercussions of it right now, and it's basically the NFL just sent their entire team's warnings.
Mm-hmm.
Don't create bounties on other players.
All right. Next, let's travel to Denver from NOLA. Two-parter here. Peyton Manning, quarterback. What do you guys think? Denver, a good fit?
Interesting fit because, I'm not sure how Peyton Manning's going to play in the altitude. I mean, I don't think he's been that good in the altitude as what people think. I think if you see it, I think Peyton Manning might have made a big mistake maybe going to Denver.
Really?
Yes.
Well, he's going to get paid.
He'll get paid, but, we don't know the status of his neck. We don't know how he's going to do in Denver. The wide receivers are happy, and most likely they're going to get his people. It's going to be another version of Indy West.
Yeah. What do you think?
Peyton Manning going to the Broncos, I think the big reason for it was John Elway.
Yeah.
John Elway, let's face it, he did not like Tim Tebow.
No.
He did not like Tim Tebow. Whereas if you look at Peyton Manning, John Elway loves the guy.
Yeah.
I think that, will he be a fit in Denver? I don't know, but I sure know for sure that John Elway is going to make sure that he is going to be a good fit for Denver. That just comes down to, can he win Super Bowls in Denver?
Yeah.
Because they're not talking about championships. They're talking about Super Bowls.
Yeah. I think it's a good fit because it allows John Fox, the head coach, to focus on his bread and butter, which is defense.
Yes.
And it allows Peyton Manning a lot of freedom.
Yes.
He has a decent running game. The wide receivers are kind of unknowns, but
Right.
so were pretty much the Colts wide receiver.
Yeah,
You know what
if
I
you're
mean?
if you're a fantasy football fan, you pick up Eric Decker
and any Denver wide receiver this year, they're gonna have a big year this year.
Yeah.
But
All
the
right.
team still to beat, however, in the AFC, I think, is New England.
Well, we'll
think
see.
it'll be
Hopefully, we'll get
Pittsburgh.
another shot at
It'll be Pittsburgh.
Manning Brady. You know.
Maybe yeah, they do actually play each other in New England this year.
All right. The second part of that, Tim Tebow gone, New York Jet. How do you feel about that fit?
Tim Tebow will be the starter. I
When?
think
By what week?
give it by week 5. I don't think
week
Mark
5?
Week
by
5?
week 5. I don't think Mark Sanchez is that I mean, like, his accuracy's been not very good. He's been throwing incompletions. He's throwing interceptions. I think if you see it, the New York fans are going to get really upset with Sanchez, and I think that Tim Tebow is going to be eventually be the starting quarterback.
And what do you think?
This acquisition puts Sanchez on a short leash,
Yeah.
pretty much in terms of he needs to produce. If he produces, then they're going to be fine. But you're going to have the cult of fans that Tebow had in Denver. Going to have the same thing happen in New York and the bright lights, and he's going to, they're going to ask for him to be the starting quarterback. It's going to be the same thing that happened in Denver. Now we'll see
Also,
what
they might
happens.
put him in Wildcat formations. I've been hearing about that they could put Tim Tebow in those Wildcat formations.
How do you feel about this matchup? Rex Ryan, Tim Tebow. On the surface, it kind of looks, okay, Rex Ryan's this potty mouth kind of a guy. Tim Tebow is like a pastor. But they both are about just winning. They both talk about winning constantly. You think it's a good match?
Winning cures everything, if they win, that's all they care about.
Can they win with Tim Tebow?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The Jets cannot win with Tim Tebow.
Yes, they can, because
Why?
let's look at it from this perspective. Mark Sanchez is not a running quarterback. That team, if New York, and a lot of people are bashing about Tim Tebow's passing ability. I think Tim Tebow's a better athlete than Mark Sanchez. I think that Tim Tebow is a better fit for the Jets offense than Mark Sanchez is. But I still, I think that his
In terms of
leadership
the
and his hard
passing
work
game-
ethic is going to be.
In terms of the passing game, who
Key.
do you want as your quarterback as a passer?
I prefer Tim Tebow, Mark Sanchez.
What? Sanchez is a better passer than Tebow.
I still take Tim Tebow because he's got more heart and more determination than Mark Sanchez
Wow,
ever had.
you are crazy.
Even when he was at USC.
Okay, one more question about Tebow in New York. How do the Jets fans react to Tim Tebow? Do they embrace him, or are they, they're harsh,
Oh,
very
yeah.
harsh.
Very.
I know Fireman Ed. And Fireman Ed, this is for you. Jets, 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 Jets. Treat Tim Tebow well, and do this for me.
Tebow is not going to get treated well in New York at all.
I don't think so either.
Not at all. I think, you know how the fans are in New York. Sammy should know how the fans in New York are. And they're just, if he doesn't produce, he's going to get booted, the boot. And I mean the boot.
Sanchez will get the boot. Tim Tebow's your starting quarterback in New York.
Okay, I don't know about that. I tend to agree with Anthony more on that one. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little NCAA tournament basketball, March Madness, baby, here on Between Taorminas.
On ONTV.
Did you know that you can watch ONTV on the web? How cool is that? Just surf on over to www.orionontv.org to watch your favorite on-TV show. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television.
Orion Neighborhood Television has been your community connection for the last 20 years. From local concerts and sports to resident-made original programming, we are the voice of Lake Orion. Featuring a large professional studio, ONTV can provide you with the tools you need to make a quality program. Our staff is knowledgeable, friendly, and eager to help with your program success. Your voice, your community, on TV.
Can ONTV really be a part of Orion's history? Can a 100-year-old school be moved and preserved?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
You look great in those glasses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's talk. Let's get right into it. What was the biggest upset for you guys?
My biggest upset, I think, was Norfolk State beating Missouri. I think that, but you know, it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't a surprise with Missouri. Frank Hayes had never been good in the NCAA tournament, losing in the first round every time he's been in the tournament. You know, and you got to give credit to Norfolk State. You know, you didn't expect them to win. They were the MEAC champions.
MEAC, yeah.
MEAC, yeah. And that they went out. It just proves that anything can happen in March Madness.
Yep.
Duke going down to mighty Lehigh in the NCAA tournament. That was a complete shocker. I think, you know, because you had the NCAA tournament was in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, and that's 30 minutes from Durham, which is on Duke's campus.
It was a home game for Duke.
Virtually a home game for Duke. But this one little guy that wasn't even being looked at goes in and scores 31 points against Duke. Duke, we all know, they're not a good free throw shooting team. The Plumlee brothers, I mean, like, they were not, you know, but it really surprised me because, like, a lot of people.
Duke really underachieved this year.
A lot of people really had Duke just doing very well in the NCAA tournament. You know,
people had Missouri going far in the final, in the Final Four at least. They had them beating Michigan State.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, if you look at it, I think that Duke's upset was bigger because of the prestige of the program, Duke.
Yeah.
And Missouri's going to the SEC next year.
Okay, who do you think is happy to still be alive?
I think one thing I'm pretty happy to see who's still alive is Ohio University, the only mid-major team. A lot of people didn't think they were going to beat Michigan. They did. I think with Ohio, if you've seen Ohio U play, you could understand how good they are.
Chris Cooper. What is it?
DJ Cooper.
DJ Cooper.
Yeah,
DJ Cooper.
And, you know, it really came down to that, seeing how good that Ohio U, if you've watched them play, you know, not a lot of people from Michigan watched Ohio U play. They talked about that other team in Ohio. And,
Who's that?
you know who that is.
Cincinnati?
Ohio
No.
State.
But you notice
okay.
a couple stat lines. 1/4 of the teams in Sweet 16,
Yep.
Big Ten.
Right.
1/4 from the state of Ohio.
Pretty wild, huh?
Wild, yeah.
Well, I think the team that's lucky to be in this whole thing, of course, is Michigan State, to be honest with you. I think the way they played against St. Louis was like, Michigan State almost got upset the other day when they played them.
Now,
I don't think so.
Michigan State deserves to be in the Sweet 16.
I mean, like, let me make my point here.
All right.
You know, Michigan State had, you know, they were in some trouble when they played St. Louis.
Wouldn't you expect that?
You know, I mean, Rick Majerus is a good coach, heck of a coach. I mean, like, if you look at, you know, I'm a little bit nervous because, like, with them, because they might miss Brandon Dawson in this tournament, you know, and it almost showed in it.
The one
in that
team
game.
that deserves to be in this is Wisconsin. Wisconsin I can't believe Wisconsin beat Vanderbilt. That makes me mad
Why?
because
Your
Vanderbilt.
bracket?
Well, that, but also Wisconsin, you know, they don't typically score a lot. They're inconsistent.
Well, another team that got upset this weekend was Florida State.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had them
yeah.
in the final
Oh,
four.
yeah. Florida State won the ACC, and yet Cincinnati beats them with Yancey Gates. I mean,
Wasn't that the same team that got suspended?
it's kind
for
of
the
weird
fight
that
with
both Xavier and Cincinnati, the teams that got into the fight, are in the Sweet 16. Isn't that anticlimactic?
That's weird.
Actually, I would say it's climactic.
Mm-hmm.
No?
You got Ohio State, Ohio, Cincinnati, and
Xavier.
Xavier represent the state of Ohio.
All right. So of the 4 Ohio teams, which one goes the farthest?
Ohio State.
And how far?
Final Four.
You think Final Four?
Yes.
They drop out then?
Elite Eight.
Elite 8? You think they win one more and bow out?
You know what? Maybe, yeah, they'll bow out me.
All right. Let's look ahead. Judging from what we've seen already, what was the biggest surprise aside from the 2 upsets?
Florida State going down.
You think so?
Florida
Tell me
State,
why.
because like Florida State won the ACC. They beat Carolina twice. They beat Duke twice. I mean, like, and the way they lost to Cincinnati was just, they gave up 4 straight points. They were tied at 50-50, and then like all of a sudden it's like 56-50 next minute. They get a steal and like it's your whole ball game.
Maybe Georgetown going out to NC State. NC State being in the Sweet 16 is a surprise to me.
That is.
They were on the bubble and they were,
Yep.
and here they are in the Sweet 16
Yep.
proving their worth.
And Ohio, you might say it's surprising, but they kind of had a favorable matchup in South Florida.
Well, also too, they've had experience. They've won a tournament game against Georgetown 2010 with virtually that same core.
All right. Final thoughts about the tourney. Anything you want to account for moving forward?
It should be an interesting Sweet 16. I think that a lot of people are going to say the team to watch still, the most vulnerable number 1 in my opinion is Syracuse. I still think Ohio State, Ohio State's got a shot taking them down, but Syracuse been playing a little bit better without Fab Mill.
I would say it'll be a very interesting 2 weeks.
Amen. Always is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. When we get back, we're going to talk a little Lake Orion basketball and the good season they had, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Real good season. Here on Between Taorminas on
ON TV.
Thank you.
Can ONTV really change the way you see Orion? Can a community hold a talent show to raise mental health awareness?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986. Video classes are now enrolling. Call 248-693-3377 to reserve your seat today. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television. This is you, and this is your community. You have a great idea, but how do you get that idea to your community? ONTV has your answer. You see, ONTV is a part of your community. We help you get your idea on cable, so everyone you know will learn about your great idea. So, what are you waiting for? Get your idea on cable and into your community. Get your idea on TV.
All right. To the third segment of Between Taorminas, where we are going to discuss Lake Orion basketball briefly and get into the question of the day, which is a hotly contested question, as I understand it. Okay? Talk to me. What happened? Lake Orion goes down, Lance Cruz North.
Last night, the Dragons played Lance Cruz North on Tuesday night. They had a lead head in the fourth quarter. They were up 29-26. They got outscored 20-13 in the fourth quarter, lost 46-40. It was more of like Lance Cruz North was a scrappy team. They played well defensively. Dragons just, I hate to say it, but it's just cracked under pressure.
This game should not have
happened,
reflected what they did this season. They did a lot of special things. They won the district championship for the first time since 1984. They won the regional championship for the first time since 1925. What this means is the program has got higher expectations, higher goals. There's no doubt Lake Orion basketball is back, and Lake Orion basketball is here to stay.
Let's look at it from this perspective. Next year, of course, if you look at the OA next year, I'm not sure what the realignment's going to be like.
Do you think Lake Orion should go into the red?
I talked to an outside source, and he's saying and he said Lake Orion should be in the white next year. I think that.
I think Lake Orion should be in the white
because they were in the blue this year. And I think in this run, I think puts them in the white division for next year, in my opinion.
Then what about possibly in the red because of the tournament? They went far in the tournament.
Oh, I
They
guess
should have been
maybe in the red, maybe red.
They could. It's possible.
Well, they could,
I mean,
maybe
if you look at, yeah, they didn't win the division this year. That'll impact some things. But you look at Lake Orion went far in the state playoffs, and that should constitute for something.
Yeah, but would you put them against a team like Birmingham Seaholm, who beat them twice this year, and they got a superstar coming back.
Yes, I would put Lake Orion higher than Seaholm. Lake Orion's got more kids than Seaholm. Seaholm has no business being in the white, not being disrespectful to Birmingham.
In the
Seaholm,
red?
or in the blue. Well,
In the red.
yeah, a team like Seaholm has no business in the red anyways to begin with. Look at the teams in the red. Harrison has no business being in the red.
Got no business, yeah. But you're playing against Clarkston, you're playing North Farmington, you're playing Southfield, Lathrop. I mean, like,
those
Lake
teams
Orion
make it
can
better.
match up well with them. I think Lake Orion matches up better with those teams than Seaholm will next year, I think, in my opinion.
Why? You saying Seaholm wants to go up in the red? They're crazy.
I don't know. I think
Seaholm wants to move up. They're stupid. They're crazy.
And of course, Rochester won the division.
Well, Rochester's got a good case of going up there,
Right.
but the question is, do they really want to?
I don't think so.
All right, moving forward, who's the biggest loss to graduation for the Dragons?
Brad Waterworth. I mean, like, he was the top rebounder. He was one of the top rebounders. He could take over. He could block shots. I mean, like, he didn't show much last night against Lance Cruz North, but
I'm going to say Justin Waconis
gonna
is
hurt.
going to be the biggest loss because of his leadership on the court. He was a very good leader. He shot the big shot in the district championship game. His defense against Malone in the regional championship was very significant in their victory over Mott. I'm going to say that they're going to miss Waconis more for his leadership and more for his defense.
the Dragons do return seven players next year.
Who's the biggest person that's going to step up next year?
It's got to be, well, you got McCarty, but I think it's going to be Chaz Miller because, like, if you look at it, Chaz was on and off this year. I mean, like,
Chaz is a senior.
He'll be a senior next year. He's got to step up his game next year, in my opinion. If he doesn't, I think he's a better player than James Young at Troy. And I'm saying
A lot of
something.
people have said that James Young is, he's being widely recruited by Troy or by Michigan State, by another college teams. But yes, I do remember that last matchup that Lake Orion and Troy had, and Chaz virtually shut down James Young.
All right, boys. Any final thoughts on Lake Orion basketball 2011-2012?
They'll be good next year, I promise you that. But this season's probably the start of something special in Lake Orion that might last a long time.
A foundation has been built. An establishment has been built. There's going to be some good times for Lake Orion basketball next year.
All right, let's get to our question of the day. This one comes from Yolanda in Toledo. So she's a Mudhead fan.
Yes, she
And I think she wants to know, will we see Brandon Inge in a Mudhead uniform before the season's end, or will he have a good year with the Detroit Tigers?
Brandon.
Yep, I want to hear from Anthony.
I think it all comes down to how he hits. If he hits,
And what is your thought? We all know the man has to hit.
Yep.
Is he going to hit?
no.
Is he going to wear the old English D? No.
No,
Not for a
I
long
don't think
time.
he's gonna hit.
Okay.
No.
Thank
Brandon
you.
Inge is going to have a special season.
Yeah, look out, look out, Albert Pujols. Here comes Brandon Inge. Batting 400, huh?
He'll probably bat in about, I'm going to say,
350?
around 315. 315 this year. You see here, I mean, like, here's a man right here that's just devastated.
How many homers?
Brandon should probably
60?
hit about 25 home runs this year. I think if you look at Brandon Inge, he had a bad year last year. He's gonna have I think he'll have a better year this year. I think that
Don't break my glasses.
I think if you look at
I'm
it,
going to break my skull here in a
if you
minute.
look at it, Brandon Inge is gonna have a big year in the old English D uniform, and that's why I said the Tigers will win the division by 15 games. Pat Caputo will think I'm nuts, but then
Maybe
again,
that's why he hasn't been on the show.
Maybe.
Thinks you're nuts.
Well, like Pat Caputo, the invite's still out there for you. Brandon Inge is going to surprise people this season, and he should be on fantasy teams everywhere this season.
No wonder you suck at fantasy. My God. All right, Yolanda. I don't like him. I hope he's not in Toledo or in English D. I hope he's out. Gone. Goodbye. See ya. Retirement. Good night.
He won't.
Oh. Anyways, final thoughts on anything we discussed here today or life in general.
Well, got to give congratulations out to the Oakland University men's basketball team. They're in the collegeinsider.com tournament. They're the CIT Final Four. They beat a very, very good Rice University basketball team. They, who also has a special shout out to their video coordinator, Mark Vick. It was a very fun game to be part of, and you know, I'm wishing Oakland the best along the way. Go Grizzlies, CIT champs. I can see it happen.
Of course, you know, the playoffs are starting to come, the NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs. Dallas in a really big Pacific Division battle with LA, Phoenix, and San Jose. I mean, like, you got about, you know, 9 games left. I mean, like, 9
Thank
games
you for
left.
watching Between Taorminas. It's been fun.
We got 9 games left.
We'll see you next time. Give me my glasses back. No more for you. You're done.
What?
Yep, you're done. Good night.